The best little derby in the West from Nampa, Idaho. We'll have highlights of the non-pro championship final that will come down to a runoff.
And they put up so much money here.
And this show just grows every year, gets bigger and bigger, and it's just fun.
Plus the inaugural rookie shootout that'll give 11 lucky rookies a shot at a big-time event and prizes.
I can tell you, having a finals like this is kind of putting them a little bit out of the comfort zone.
It's nerve-wracking.
Truly, this is the kind of stuff that hooks you. Reining is an addiction. It is. You know what? You get to ride a reining horse, you don't want to ride anything else.
Coming up on Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Behringer Ingelheim, we're going to talk about what to look for when you're wanting to board your horse in a healthy barn.
And NRHA professional Russ Ratkowski shows us his training secret for helping a horse get comfortable with speed in the circles. That's all ahead on Horse of the West. Welcome to the Ford Idaho Horse Park in Nampa and the Great Western Reining Horse Association Best Little Derby in the West. With more than 500 stalls filled and $100,000 in cash and prizes, this derby may have to change its name. And it is so much more than a derby. There's also a new rookie shootout that's giving rookie reiners a big league competition experience.
We got 3 judges here. They're all going to be in the chair. And of course, we've got Horse of the West, who's going to be filming this whole thing, featuring these rookies, and we're so excited. We're giving away a saddle for the first place finisher, and lots of prizes. All of them, all 11 of them are getting belt buckles. Just a lot of hype going on. It's pretty exciting.
71 rookie entrants competed in 2 slates of classes. The top 10 plus 1 tie have made it to this shootout.
Get the top 10, actually had 1 tie, so we've got 11 going into the finals. We're doing a seeded finals, so whoever won the circuit would actually be the last one to go in the pen. You know what? It kind of raises a little bit of adrenaline, gets going a little bit higher, but it's going to be exciting. The whole crowd's excited about it, and so for us to be able to kind of highlight that, and those stands will be full. You know what? People will be here and rooting them on, and it's going to be an exciting time.
They're very clever at how they have done the whole thing to amp the pressure up. These interviews, there's 3 judges, there's a scheduled time to start the class. They have a draw party for it. They did everything they could to sort of get under your skin.
To be able to show them 3 times and to be able to clean slate that at the end of the 2 goes was actually a pretty neat structure for us to be able to go out and show multiple times and have a chance to kind of get together a little bit more with our horses. It's
very exciting, and they're good at making it that way, so I think it's a very clever, great idea to keep things fresh.
Up first is 16-year-old Jade Whitmarsh of Cochrane, Alberta, Canada. She's riding a 5-year-old mare she calls Stella, Spook and Ebony by NRHA Hall of Fame stallion Smart Spook out of NRHA Hall of Fame mare Ebony Shines. Jade and Stella barely made it into the shootout in a tie for 10th, but they come out firing and earn a strong 214.5 from the 3 judges here in Nampa.
I am so happy with my horse today. She was so confident and we had so much trust in each other out there, and it came together really well. And I think I was a little bit nervous at the beginning, but as we relaxed and it progressed throughout the run, I think we both just kind of fell into a groove, and it worked out pretty well. Yeah, she gets a lot of treats after that one.
Nancy Brugato of Portland, Oregon is up next.
This is Mr. Black Magic. He's Mr. Dual Path. He's cowbred, but he really does well in the reining. He's real quiet. I've been riding since probably before I could walk. I didn't have my first saddle till I was 40. But I've been reining for probably 8 years. I started out with cow horse, and kind of at about 8 years I went into reining.
Nancy says she is checking some things off her bucket list with these rookie events, earning a finals berth here in Nampa and also a top 5 spot at the NRBC's Yellowstone Rookie Shootout last year. Her score here in Nampa, a 208.5. Now here's Kathleen Cooney, also of Portland, Oregon, on her 9-year-old gelding Arc King Snapper by Master Snapper out of the Top Flight Performer Custom Mahogany. Kathleen and the horse she calls Triton are doing so well, this is going to be their last show in the rookie division.
It was taking advantage of a great opportunity in a class that had 71 entrants in it. I mean, I really didn't think I was going to get in the top 10. So just being here is really special for us.
Samantha Etzel from Arlington, Washington has also done both reining and reined cow horse.
I have been riding ever since I can remember, so pretty much my entire life. I started doing the reining when I was about 11, but then as a youth kid I went and did the cow horse, and I went to college on an equestrian team at Kansas State and did the reining there. And then after I saved enough money to buy this beautiful horse behind me, started doing the NRHA stuff.
That beautiful horse is Devil's Cut Whiskey by Whiskey and Diamonds out of a Great Lena. He and Samantha earn a 2:03.5 to slide into a tie for third with Kathleen Cooney. 14-year-old Madison Wiggin of Ogden, Utah is the daughter of an NRHA professional, and she's been riding all of her life, but she says she just got this 6-year-old mare, Gee Whiz, I'm a Done It by MLG Morgan's Done It back in August.
She's really sweet, just great personality, love her.
These two are getting along great. They impressed the judges, earning a 2:12.5 to slide into second behind Jade Whitmarsh and Spook and Ebony.
It was super exciting when I made it in. I think it was 5th in the top 10, so that was really fun and big deal for me.
Katrina Macon of Wallowa, Washington is riding KR Sweet Shine by Smart and Shiny. Katrina just started reining.
Literally about 6-8 weeks.
Katrina's daughter did youth reining, but when she graduated and headed out into the world, Mom decided it was her time to shine.
And I just kind of figured I've been a show mom forever and I just loved it, so I wanted to give it a try. It's nerve-wracking. It is. It's kind of one of those bad things. I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this and making myself miserable, but then I can feel success, so it's kind of a crazy roller coaster of emotions, I guess. Yeah.
Eric Sorenson of Townsend, Montana is also making time later in life to pick up reining as a hobby. He earns a 2:04.5 on Wimpy's Ritzy Bud by Wimpy's Little Step, a horse he bought a couple of years ago.
Started last year trying to figure him out. He's 12 now. He's a Wimpy's Little Step. And he can do lots of things, and I have to figure out how to tell him when to do it and help him do it.
So the first horse into the pen in the rookie shootout here in Nampa is still our leader, Spook and Ebony, under 16-year-old Jade Whitmarsh. Madison Wiggin is in second with a 2:12.5, and in third, Nancy Brugato with a 2:08.5 on board Mr. Black Magic. We're down to our top 2 qualifiers now. Sydney Weaver of Morgan, Utah had the second highest score in the prelims. She married into a reining family and has only been competing in this sport for about a year.
So I actually came from the all-around world. I showed pleasure horses and hunters and whatnot, and I was ready for a change of pace.
Sydney earns a 2:10 on board the 8-year-old gelding Wizard's Little Step, another son of Wimpy's Little Step, and she is pretty pleased with how things went.
I've only owned him for 3 months, so we're really new in our partnership here, so we're still trying to figure each other out. That's one of the other reasons this week was so fun for us, is this is definitely the most quality bonding time that we've been able to have.
And now here's our top qualifier, Heather Priddy of Deer Park, Washington. She's also riding an 8-year-old gelding, this one by NRHA Hall of Fame member Gunner and named Gunnin for Wimps.
This is Gunny. He's an 8-year-old gelding. He's a cool dude. He's got huge brakes. He's taught me so much in the last year and a half. He's a great horse. He's really nice.
Making the top 10 here in the rookie shootout was Heather's goal, and her plan for the final
was to go in and just take it really easy and zero everything and then mark on my stops. Yep, so we accomplished our goal.
Heather's going to need a score of 215 to steal first from Jade Whitmarsh. And the score for Heather Priddy and Gunnin for Wimps? A 215, so they take the inaugural Best Little Derby in the West Rookie Shootout Championship by half a point. Jade Whitmarsh and Spook and Ebony will take reserve. When we come back, the Best Little Derby in the West non-pro action. Don't ride off.
You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV, presented by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back to Horse of the West and coverage of the Best Little Derby in the West in its 5th year at the Ford Idaho Horse Park in Nampa.
The thing is crazy. It's grown to 8 days now. We're doing 8 days. Now we're getting done a little earlier. Guys are getting a little bit of time to get in the pen. We're not running late nights, so we're a little more relaxed. It's kind of nice that way, but just a great turnout.
It's such a fabulous group of people. They've been doing this for years now, and this show just grows every year, gets bigger and bigger. And it's just fun every year. I mean, the more people show up to it from further away, and it's just a kick in the pants. Great show, and George King and his whole staff make it super fun for everybody. And
The Best Little Derby in the West has a special concurrent class for 4-year-old horses only and a red shirt derby for horses that didn't get to show at all their 3-year-old futurity year.
This show does a great job putting that on. It's consistent, it's every year, and you know you can bring your young ones here and not overshow them, but you know, win some money.
Jennifer Gilliam of Pine Grove, California is riding a 4-year-old named Magnetized by NRHA Hall of Fame sire Magnum Chick Dream. They earn a 216.5.
He actually belongs to my mom, and I'm borrowing him this year. She's been nice enough to share, and he's just been a great little horse, really easy to get with, and he showed good. I showed him last weekend and then this week, and he's been just a super fun 4-year-old.
Cam Essick of Clements, California won this event last year and is back on the same horse. 6-year-old homebred Love Ya by NRHA $2 million sire Gonna Trash Ya.
he's won about $96,000, and he's gets shown a couple times a year, and then he kind of has a little bit of a pasture life, and then we bring him back and try to show him again.
Cam and Love Ya mark a big 219.5 to take over the lead by a full 3 points. 14-year-old Mason McDowell of Enterprise, Idaho is also riding a 6-year-old gelding, this one by NRHA $2 million sire Gunner's Special Night. These two are just getting to know each other.
I just got him last week, last Wednesday, and he's a really fun horse. He's a big stopper, really easy to ride. I showed him like 4 times this week, and I rode him like 2 times before we came here, and he's just really fun.
Mason says in his first show he learned his new horse will go fast but come right back to him when he asks. The word from the judges, a 216.5 to tie with Jennifer Gilliam for second. Lindsay Kovick drove a full 30 minutes to make it to this show in Nampa from nearby New Plymouth, Idaho.
Not far. This is home field.
This is also Lindsay's first show on her 4-year-old Bulletproof Shiner by Shiner's Voodoo Doctors, so she too is still learning about how to get him shown.
Biggest thing is make it happen. Just make it happen, you know.
That means what?
Just ride for every stride, and that's been the biggest thing. He has a lot of shut off. He has a very light trigger, and you know, he's just fun.
Lindsay and Bulletproof Shiner earn a 217.5 to move into second place. Jenna Kellmer of Battleground, Washington is riding a 6-year-old mare by Smart Spook named Custom Spook Berry. Jenna is sharing this horse with her daughter, who rides her in the short stirrup. They plan to hang on to her as a broodmare.
It was good. We've been struggling on our rundowns, so I was a little worried about those, but everywhere else she was really good for me.
It's another 217.5 for Jenna Kellmer and Custom Spookberry, which will slide them into a tie for second with Lindsay and Bulletproof Shiner. But Cam Essick is still in the lead with that 219.5 on her homebred Love Ya. Sally Sutherland of Duval, Washington is up next riding a Palomino named Skeets Steppin' Out by Wimpy's Little Step. She's been struggling with her lead changes all week, but today it finally all comes together.
Oh, wonderful. I've never had a ride like that before in my life. What they talk about is like dancing with a partner, and that's just, I put my hand down on those rundowns, and he was just like, okay, Mom, I gotcha, let's go.
The score from the judges for Sally and Skeets Steppin' Out, a 219.5, which will tie Cam Essick and Love Ya. Now they can split the title or they can run it off, and Sally chooses the runoff. But Cam comes out on top, actually besting her earlier score by half a point. But Sally is still pleased with the reserve championship and her Palomino partner.
I love him. He's wonderful. My daddy bought me a Palomino when I was a little kid, and I just know my dad is just delighted in heaven that I've got a Palomino again that I'm out showing and winning with.
Honestly, I'm stoked if I can come and get any paycheck. I mean, honestly, it's always a huge surprise. I never have any expectation other than to just do my best, and I do it at home by myself, so it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Congratulations to all our champions and to the Great Western Reining Horse Association for another wonderful event.
It's really kid-friendly show, great for the family. They just do a really good job all the way around.
Your Horse Inside and Out with Dr. Joe Carter. Sponsored by Beringer Ingelheim.
When you're looking for a barn to move your horse into or to board it, or a horse trainer to put your horse with for training purposes, you know, what are some of the things that we can look for to make sure that your horse is going to be in a healthy barn or a healthy environment? The first thing you want to do is look for things that involve safety, things like having electrical outlets that are, properly secured, things like fire extinguishers, available in the event of a barn fire, good water and feed supplies, feeders that are fastened properly, not loose, hanging. One of my sayings is horses are born with two things on their mind, suicide and homicide. So if they're not trying to kill you, they're trying to hurt themselves. And having a loose bucket or a loose feeder are just opportunities for horses. If they just lay and they roll casually, they might get cast and get a foot or a leg hung up in a spot that might cause an injury to one of their legs or their joints or their foot, something like that. Little pieces of metal that are at the edge of a barn where a horse might step and slide under and cut the foot. These are things that are very important in the health, and safety and welfare of your horse. Being in a barn or a stable with management that has good preventative medicine schedules, you should consult with your veterinarian about, the things in your area that horses should be vaccinated for. But, generally a barn's got, a management protocol. They're generally working with the local veterinarian to make sure the horses are dewormed properly for internal parasites, vaccinated for any of the communicable diseases that they might have in your area or nationally if you're going about in rodeos or shows or something like that. So picking a barn that's healthy for your horse is an important decision. It should consult with your local veterinarian in those matters. And I'm Dr. Joe Carter with Your Horse Inside and Out.
Your Horse Inside and Out is sponsored by Beringer Ingelheim. Before making any decisions about your horse's health, be sure to contact your veterinarian.
When we come back, NRHA professional Russ Ratkowski shares his training secret for helping your horse get comfortable with speed in the circles. Don't go away. From the Training Secrets Vault, here's Russ Ratkowski on building speed in the circles.
Today I'm going to go over how I go about speeding up my circles and how I teach my horses to be comfortable going fast. So first of all, with these things I like to make sure that they're already guiding and steering, and then building that confidence as we speed up in them circles. So starting off, we'll just lope off and make sure our horse can lope off and be quiet. Make sure our horse lopes around just relaxed. I want to keep this relaxed, pleasant look the entire time that I'm doing my circles. As I start to speed my horses up, I like to think that I'm going through different gears. So when I lope off, I'm in first gear. And then as I start speeding up, I'll cluck, go to second gear. And once I get to second gear, I want to make sure that I can maintain that. Third gear, maintain that. I'm going to keep a rhythm with my legs and keep riding my horse forward between the bridle reins. Cluck again. Go to fourth gear. Check that bridle, make sure that horse is staying soft. Horse is listening nicely. Cluck, go to next gear. Next time we come through the middle, we'll check our slowdown. Sit back, release our inside leg. Horse slows down nice. Let my horse all the way down to the walk. I do not like to stop my horses in the middle, so I like to avoid taking out that 2-point penalty for a break of gait. But I will reward them after a nice slowdown to go down to the walk. One of the things that's really important with running a set of circles is no matter how pretty of a set of circles that you run, one of the most important things to us is pattern placement. If we run a really good set of circles and the credit earning set of circles and we don't come through the middle of the arena and hit center, that credit earning set of circles can be taken away from us on our maneuver score, because pattern placement is important. And then after I worked the one set of circles the one way, we'll work the right. So in them circles I like to use different gears. Go to first gear, second gear, third gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. And as we go through them gears, we don't want to go through them like an Indy sprint car. We want to take our time to build it up so it stays nice, so our horse stays relaxed and it has a good, comfortable look as we go through. With 2 of the things being really important. It doesn't matter how fast your horse goes in the circles if it doesn't slow down properly. And finally, if you don't hit the middle of the pattern, the middle of the pen, the middle of the circles, it doesn't matter how good of a set of circles that you run with your horses. I hope that this helps you out in your large, fast circles.
Welcome back to Horse of the West. If you missed out on the best little derby in the West, you can plan a trip to the Fort Idaho Horse Park in Nampa October 6th through the 12th for the Low Roller Reining Futurity, and plan to spend a little time checking out Nampa and Treasure Valley while you're here.
Nampa has a lot of wonderful things that are available to people during their stay. Nampa is the gateway to the Sunny Slope Wine Trail. We have wonderful restaurants in downtown Nampa. We would invite everyone to come and walk around our downtown area and check out some of the businesses there. The Warhawk Air Museum is located here in Nampa and is near the airport. We are close to Boise, so there are many opportunities in Boise as well.
We've got a very versatile facility here. We have basically every single equine event under the sun, from dressage to reining, to rein cow horse, to cutting, to mini horses. If it fits in the building, we can do it.
And show manager George King says if you do come in October for the Low Roller Reining Classic, plan to do some shopping. They have more and more vendors every year.
Because when people walk in here, and you can see from behind me, you know what, they walk in and they go, oh my gosh, this is not your backyard horse show.
I'd like to thank Horse of the West TV and also Georgia Robin King with the Best Little Derby for hosting at the Fort Idaho Horse Park, and we hope to see you all again here soon.
Find out more about reining at nrha.com and watch in the weeks ahead for coverage of the Low Roller Reining Classic from Nampa, the North Central Reining Horse Association Futurity from St. Paul, and the Best of the West from Scottsdale. Be sure to tune in. I'm Jennifer Reynolds. We'll see you then.